Hurricane Erin, one of the largest Atlantic storms in recent memory, formed east of the Caribbean in mid-August 2025 and quickly intensified over warm tropical waters. Reaching Category 5 strength with sustained winds near 160 miles per hour, Erin developed an enormous wind field that spanned up to 700 miles in tropical storm-force winds and hurricane-force winds extending more than 125 miles from its center. While it never made landfall in the United States, Erin's sheer size and power sent long-period swells and massive energy toward the East Coast, affecting communities thousands of miles from the storm's eye. In New York and New Jersey, the impact was concentrated not in wind or rain, but in the relentless force of the ocean, shaping beaches, streets, and coastal life in unexpected ways. In New York, Long Island, and New York City experienced significant disruptions along their southern shores. On Friday, August 22nd, swimming was suspended at Jones Beach, Robert Moses State Park, and Hither Hills due to towering swells and life-threatening rip currents. The following day, conditions allowed a cautious reopening. Swimming fully resumed at Jones Beach. Robert Moses limited visitors to wading only, and Hither Hills remained closed because the surf was still unsafe. At Rockaway Beach, lifeguards executed multiple rescues as swimmers were caught in rip currents. While on Fire Island, a 59-year-old visitor tragically drowned after being swept away. Beachfronts along Long Island saw minor flooding on access roads and in parking lots, and sand from the surf was pushed inland in certain areas, scarping dunes and exposing infrastructure such as boardwalk foundations and restroom facilities. The National Weather Service maintained a high rip current risk across southern Queens, Brooklyn, Nassau, and Suffolk counties through Sunday, August 24, with offshore waves ranging from 4 to 8 feet, slowly decaying to 3 to 7 feet by Sunday evening. Local authorities emphasized that certain high-risk areas near jetties, groins, and inlets remained off-limits, while calmer areas reopened under lifeguard supervision. Despite these coastal hazards, inland infrastructure, including roads and utilities, was largely unaffected.
Whoa! American Pond is right there.
What the hell is wrong with people?
In New Jersey, the effects of Erin's offshore passage were immediate and more dramatic along low-lying shorelines. On Thursday evening, August 21st, Atlantic City emergency crews performed water rescues and evacuated residents as high tide pushed bay water onto streets, closing portions of routes 30 and 40. In Margate, firefighters reported more than 50 rescues over successive tide cycles. Coastal surf peaked near 16 to 17 feet, accompanied by sustained winds approaching 50 miles per hour in some shore communities. The long-period swell persisted into the weekend, keeping rip currents fast and hazardous even as wave heights decreased to 3 to 5 feet. Beach erosion scarped dune faces, narrowed walkovers, and temporarily undermined some public access points. Fortunately, the majority of dune systems remained intact, preventing structural damage to buildings. Lifeguards and emergency personnel remained on high alert, monitoring beaches and performing rescues as necessary, while the statewide emergency declaration allowed coordinated response across all 21 counties. The dynamics behind Erin's impacts were clear to meteorologists. Its rapid intensification and enormous size meant that even as the storm weakened and curved northeastward, away from the U.S. coast, the wave energy it generated reached far beyond the storm's center. A mid-latitude trough guided Erin offshore, but the combination of long-period waves and high tides created dangerous conditions along beaches, inlets, and bays. By late Friday, August 22nd, Erin transitioned into a post-tropical cyclone south of Atlantic Canada. Yet its vast circulation continued to drive rip currents, coastal flooding during high tides, and erosion well into the weekend. Even areas hundreds of miles from the storm's core, including Long Island, New York City, and the Jersey Shore, experienced strong, fast-moving currents capable of pulling swimmers into deeper water or depositing sand inland, reshaping the coastline temporarily. Looking ahead, communities along New York and New Jersey's coasts continue to assess and repair the damage. In New York, beaches reopened in stages, with continued warnings about rip currents and dangerous surf. Lifeguards remain vigilant, and residents are encouraged to follow flag warnings and official advisories. In New Jersey, emergency response is focused on dune repair, beach replenishment, clearing flooded streets, and monitoring back bays for lingering water. Boaters, surfers, and ferry operators must exercise caution as residual swells persist, particularly around inlets and channels where currents remain strong. Both states' authorities stress that long-period waves can maintain hazardous conditions for several days, even as skies clear and wave heights diminish. Residents are advised to remain near life-guarded areas, avoid piers and groins, and continue following official guidance to stay safe. Erin did not topple buildings or tear apart infrastructure, yet it demonstrated the unseen power of offshore hurricanes. In New York and New Jersey, its impact was measured in rip currents, beach erosion, high surf, and localized flooding, reminders that even distant storms demand vigilance. Respecting lifeguard warnings, monitoring official advisories, and understanding the ocean's response to large storms are crucial for safety. Hurricane Erin's legacy along the East Coast is a powerful lesson. The ocean can carry the storm's force miles ahead of the wind, and preparedness is the best defense against its reach.
Army trucks out here.